Hey guys, so I've been planning on starting up a real YouTube channel sometime soon. I just need to first understand how to use an editing software and all the other stuff that everyone else seems to already know besides me. Um, but I just wanted to experiment a little bit, make this video, share my opinion on just a couple films, for example. Um, and put them out there and let you guys comment on them and then see what you guys have to say. Um, Possibly get your feedback on whether you think that I'd be good for this kind of stuff, and also to hear your thoughts on the films that I'm gonna share my opinions on and see what you have to say about what I have to say about them. So the first film is Zootopia. Okay, very hyped film around this time. Very popular and just crossed $1 billion worldwide, which is very impressive. I'm not even sure if Frozen reached those heights, possibly, but can't remember. Either way, very commercially successful as well as critically successful on Rotten Tomatoes. When I looked at it prior to watching the film, it had a 99%, which I mean that's a very high rating. It obviously sets a certain level of expectations for anyone reading that. That rating that is planning on seeing the film, and I went into the film, expecting a lot, and I really didn't think it was that great. Um, I think that in terms of most of the key aspects of a story, so um, the writing, which includes characters, the narrative, the plot progression, all those aspects. I really don't think that it was anything special. Um, I thought that Judy Hopps, the central character, was actually kind of two-dimensional. Uh, it seemed like literally her entire character was her juggling two different one motivation and one directly conflicting obstacle to that motivation. So um, she wished to be a cop, and then her biggest her biggest um, obstacle was the fact that no one would take her seriously as a cop. That was literally it for Judy Hopps as far as I'm concerned. And it came off a little bit flat to me. It seems like it felt like a character that could have been conceived very easily with very little effort. Um, just let's create a really like attractive looking female bunny who wants to be a cop, and she's really determined to prove herself as a cop, but oh no, everyone around her doesn't think that she's going to be a cop. It feels like that was the concept of Judy Hopps as a character, and that was all that we got of Judy Hopps as for her character. Um, so what I'm trying to say is that even if a lot of characters are initially conceived with simple building blocks like what I just described for Judy Hopps, they become more than that in the process of in the process of the development of whatever story they're a part of. They become much more fleshed out. They 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 gain qualities and traits that go beyond what the creator might have intended for them to have right off the bat when they were first conceived, and they just grow as characters, in really organic sort of ways, um, and I feel like Judy Hopps did not. I feel like she was just a fairly flat character, very easy to describe and sum up in a couple of sentences or in a couple of traits. That's all that there was to her. Um, Also, a little, just very quickly on the design of Judy Hopps. Um, it's for a children's film. I don't know if I like the fact that they gave her such a sexually appealing um, figure. I mean, her hips and all it's look, the people over at Disney are very aware of subcultures like furries and stuff like that, especially when when they are related to the film that Disney is attempting to create or market. They're very aware of all these things. Don't just assume that furries are just some subculture that some people here know about, maybe some people on the internet know about, but the suits over at a big corporation like Disney doesn't know about them. They're not aware of them. They very much are, and their their presence is definitely factored in when these types of films are funded and marketed and all that. And I really think that to some degree the furry community was pandered to with Judy Hopps' design and general character and maybe the film as a whole to some extent. Because this film is unlike any other um, anthrop anthropom no wait one sec An- anthropom anthropomorphized, I think that's the word, animal film that I've seen before, because of the fact that um, in this film there were no human beings. Animals were all that exist, and they were placed into a setting that is associated with human beings, whereas other Disney films revolving around animals like Lion King or Jungle Book are obviously still taking place in nature, with animals uh, still behaving like their roles in nature. Um, but yeah, okay. So sorry, that was enough on Judy Hopps. Nick Wilde, I like Nick Wilde as a character more than I did Judy Hopps. I still don't think he was that special of a character, that great of a character. I like Jason Bateman's voice acting for him. I thought he did a good job, and um, I still think that in his case he failed to truly um, come off the page in a sense. He failed to truly come alive and make me care about him. Um, like even with the backstory of him as a scout and being treated by the others the way he was, it didn't. I don't know. I just have a gripe with the writing of this film as a whole. I felt like it was generally very flat, and these characters were they never became much more than how they were probably pitched as characters to um, the people that greenlighted a film like this. It feels like they never grew beyond their initial descriptions that the creators provided for them when telling a producer, oh, then this character is like this, like that is yeah, essentially how I feel about that. The with regards to the narrative of the film, I felt like there definitely could have been better. There could have been better writing in certain areas, a lot of areas actually. Like for example, the scene where Judy Hopps has been, I think she's resigned from the police force, or she gave in her badge. I'm not sure. Um, no, she had to, she was forced to resign. Uh, she's back at oh, was she forced to resign? Did she resign? I can't remember. Sorry. She was feeling guilty about the comment that she made about um, predators just having something in their DNA that causes them to go savage. First of all, I thought that was kind of a little bit forced. That entire sub arc, I guess, that occurred starting there, whereby she made that comment, and then Nick Wilde gets, very upset with her after hearing that, and I felt like it was a forced attempt at making Judy feel guilty about um, that comment, just to give her some more character development, or to give her an arc to go on that would hopefully make people sympathize with her more, or something like that. That is how I felt. I felt like it wasn't that authentic. Um, Especially the scene that came after with her apologizing to Nick, crying about the comment that she made, and how sorry she is, and how she knows that he'll never forgive her. And then he does the whole voice recording with the carrot bit, gag, whatever. I don't know. I felt like that was kind of predictable. I think it was kind of hammy and forced. Um, it's hard to explain why. That's just how I felt watching it. It felt like the people writing this film were just trying to check off some boxes that apply to a typical story structure, I guess. Like, have the protagonist, feel guilty about something that she did, and then, go on this arc to win back her her comrades, or something like that. Um, Sorry. Okay. With regards to the plot, like one of the areas that I really didn't like was where Judy. Crap. Sorry for speaking so slowly. I'm really stupid, to be honest. Um, I don't know. My brain works very slowly. I can't, ideas, thoughts don't come to me at a fast enough pace for me to talk continuously, I guess. Maybe part of it is because I'm nervous, because I haven't really done this type of thing before. But no, I think I'm kind of like the Flash, the sloth character. That's kind of like what my thoughts are. So it's kind of probably that's probably what I sound like a little bit right now. Um, so okay, all right. With regards to the plot, one of the areas that I really didn't like and thought was poorly written was how, after Judy has resigned from the police force, she's no longer there. She returns to her home, Bunnyville, or whatever it was. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Um, we see her for, you know maybe 30 seconds, doing her job as a carrot farmer, with her parents. We see that she's miserable. She doesn't like it there. We see that for 30 seconds. Then there's maybe a 30-second encounter of her with Gideon Gray. He apologizes, blah blah blah. Then there's another very short conversation that she has with her parents, after which they somehow, the topic of the night howler thing is brought up, and it's revealed that, oh, it was just a flower, a chemical that comes from a flower that stems from a flower. No, sorry. Wow. A chemical that stems from a flower, and um, uh, and oh yeah, and that the prey can also go savage, because Judy's uncle did. And then that was it. That was it. She had her her the key that she was looking for, that final puzzle piece that put everything together and made it all make sense. And then she was right back to Zootopia with the answer to the entire, animals going savage, predators going savage problem. And it was like there was no build up to it. There was no real effort on her part that caused her to discover this crucial fact, to uncover the truth. It was literally, we see her, oh, it's down, depressed. Oh, she doesn't want to be a carrot farmer, but that's where she is now because she's clearly not fit for the cop lifestyle, and she regrets all the comments she made, whatever. And that's it. You're just gonna give her the solution that easily, and within such a short period of time. Like, there wasn't even enough time for us as the audience to digest the fact that she has fallen from grace. And there was nothing, of that. There was no, like, build up to her investigating, perhaps, like, slowly, gathering clues, and eventually uncovering the truth behind this whole night howler thing, and then returning to Zootopia, and knowing what needs to be done from there. It was just instant, and so it never had any time to really sit and develop. And Judy as a character herself never really even earned or did anything to uncover it herself. It was, the information was given to her, and I didn't like that. Um, Honestly, I found the sloth scene to be like one of the only genuinely funny scenes in the film. That was the scene from the trailer that even made me interested in seeing the film. There wasn't that much else about the film that I um, cared to see just based on the trailer. I mean, the animation was great, but you would expect that by now, from a studio like Disney. Um, Especially with, apparently, a lot of Pixar artists being switched over to, switching over to Disney stuff. Animation is great. I very much appreciate good animation, and yet I think that is one, just merely one aspect of a film. And I personally, I think that story, um, like, characters and the plot and things, I personally put those way above animation, um, in terms of their importance, because I think that, while nice animation is obviously a plus and it's a great thing to have, without a great story behind it, there is no entertainment value. There is no interest from my part. Like, if you look at the any of the new episodes of SpongeBob, which everyone is generally aware of this now, how SpongeBob has fallen from grace. The quality has gone majorly downhill. Um, and well, the if you look at the show now, if you look at the recent episodes, you'll see that the artwork, the art styles is still incredible, even more so than it was during its glory days. Um, and yet, why is it that that people are so dissatisfied with SpongeBob? It's because the writing is terrible. The characters have become two-dimensional, whereas they previously were so richly, um, so well written, so they had all of. Oh my God, sorry, I'm going into a complete tangent here. Anyways, the point is that in SpongeBob's new episodes, the art style, the artwork is even better than it was during its prime, and yet the show's quality as a whole is still considered very poor because good artwork, in combin being applied to poor writing is just it can't make up for it. Whereas if you have good writing, I think that the opposite isn't true, where if you have good writing, you can have subpar animation and it'll still be okay to watch because the writing is what garners people's interest, in terms of the great, characters and an interesting story. um okay, yeah, this video has gone on way too long. It's like 21 minutes. Oh my God, how do YouTubers like condense all their thoughts down into such short videos? I never even appreciated that until now. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of this absolutely terrible, terrible rambling about Zootopia. I mean, I said I had other films to talk about too. Didn't even get to talk about them because I realized how long I've been going on for. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, because I'd love to hear your thoughts and tell me where I can improve. I'm very aware of some areas that I can improve on just off the top of my head, like be concise and know what you're trying to say. But let me know if you agree with anything that I said, because I think that Zootopia is a film which, I mean, clearly based on the 99% Rotten Tomatoes rating, and how well it's done commercially, I think like it's a film that is certainly getting a lot of attention right now, and a lot of praise. And I don't think that it's really deserving of all that, even though I really appreciated the imaginative and clever world building of the place Utopia itself, or of Judy's town, where she's on the train leaving, and you see the population count, and it's just going up and up. Things like that were clever. There's so many other clever references, like Judy's joke about how rabbits multiply. There's plenty of those. It was a very it took full advantage of what it was trying to do with, in terms of creating a human world inhabited by animals. But I think that beyond that, I think if you're looking at the actual characters themselves, the story being told, I didn't care for it that much. But okay, all right, guys. Thanks for listening to this garbage excuse of a review, and I hope to read your comments and make more of these. Okay, take care.